Good evening, good evening, good evening, and thank you for joining me for Conversations with Taz. Hope everybody is having a great start to their week. If you are not, I hope the week gets better for you. But let's jump right on into things. NBA superstar Dwight Howard's son Braylon inappropriately touched his mom's boyfriend's minor son, leading to Royce Reed's arrest. Some of you may know Royce Reed from the original cast of Basketball Wives. Some of you may know her from being a dancer around the league. And I'm saying a professional trained choreographed dancer. And some of you may just know her from being the mother of his child. But BSO.com says this. BSO reported how Dwight Howard's original baby mama, Royce Reed, turned herself in on child neglect charges. At the time, all we knew was that it involved Reed and Howard's son, Braylon, violating a judge's order to stay away from any kids 2 years younger than him. Keep in mind, Braylon is 14 years old. We have more details now, and they are very disturbing via the Shade Room. According to court documents, Royce Reed's young son has an alleged history of inappropriate sexual conduct with minors. They came to a head last year when he allegedly made the minor son of Royce's boyfriend perform a sexual act while the two boys were at Royce's home. In the documents, investigators confirmed that during their interview with him about the incident, he stated he made minor child's name withheld masturbate me because I was angry at him, while revealing that it happened on two separate occasions. Elsewhere in the interview, Royce's son said that anger triggers him into acting out sexually. He was forbidden by authorities to have conduct with minors 2 or more years younger than him, and the son of Royce's boyfriend falls underneath those restrictions. Her son and the minor child have been together multiple times throughout the last year, despite him being required not to do so. In response to her son's inappropriate conduct, Royce told investigators that he's been seeing a sexual treatment counselor at True Core Behavioral Solutions for the past 8 months. But this behavior has been going on for... But let's continue. However, when her son told the counselor about the incident, it was then forwarded to DCF. That instance is how Royce Reed was charged with third-degree felony charge neglect on March 10th. But I'm getting echo back from your side, Monkey. So do you have another device going?
No.
Okay, it's better now. Now, according to Total Pro Sports, the headline reads, this is just part 2 to it. Dwight Howard's 14-year-old son facing allegations of inappropriately touching younger child. Howard's baby mama arrested on child neglect charges. Now, I'm still baffled how this is only her fault, but whatever. The entire story is a complete mess. Basketball Wives star Royce Reed, the baby mama of Dwight Howard, has turned herself into police and been charged with neglect of a child, which is a third-degree felony. The case involves her 14-year-old son, Braylon, whom she shares with athlete Dwight Howard. According to the documents, police state Braylon is working on issues with professionals due to past incidents and was not allowed to hang out with kids 2 years younger than him without an adult. Braylon is accused of breaking rules set forth by a judge, and Royce is being blamed for it. Way to teach the kid accountability. Reed allegedly allowed her son to be in a situation that violated the judge's instructions. The former reality star has cooperated fully with officials and even turned herself in instead of waiting for cops to arrest her. According to court documents, Royce's young son has an alleged history of inappropriate sexual conduct with minors that came to a head last year when he allegedly made the minor son, Royce's boyfriend, perform a sexual act while the two boys were at Royce's home. In the documents, investigators confirmed that during their interview with him about the incident, he stated that he made minor child's name withheld masturbate me because I was angry at him. While revealing that it happened in two separate occasions, Royce's son also said that anger triggers him to act out sexually. From the vault of I ain't never heard of this shit before in my life. And I don't think that it's anger that's making him do it. I think that's his excuse. And if he's been doing this for over a year, why has he only been in treatment for 8 months? And why is the mother, like, I get she broke the rules, charge her with breaking the rules. But why is this child not in juvenile right now?
Right.
And why is Dwight so radio silent about it? Like, where has he been? Where everybody wants to talk about mothers letting down children, but where is the responsibility for Dwight Howard? Like, your 14-year-old son is out here sexually abusing children younger than him. Your son is not being punished. The only person being punished is the mother of your child. And your son is literally saying, when I get mad, I make kids, other little boys, do things to me sexually. Make it, where did this come from? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because I'm sure this little boy been mad at his mama. He ain't say nothing about making his mama do nothing. I'm sure he been mad at his daddy. He ain't making his daddy do nothing. So where's
He's just a child abuser, and they're trying to make excuses for it.
yes, sir.
I came in late. I'm sorry. I apologize. I had to speak to my other screenwriter for the screenplay I'm writing. Casual plug.
Always, always, always. I just sent it to you.
So you mean
You
to
can
tell me this particular person? Oh, thank you. So he's been abusing other boys.
Yep.
Some reports, yeah.
Why?
Because he says that when he gets angry, that's what it
And
makes
they
him
do
do.
things to him sexually?
Yeah,
Yep.
like the boy that his mother got arrested for him doing, he said he got mad, so he made the boy masturbate him. And here's the thing. It's not the kids that he's abusing that are speaking up. He's speaking up on the matter. Very matter of factly. And I can understand why. He's not getting any repercussions for it. He's getting zero repercussions. He didn't get arrested. He's not sitting in juvenile detention. His daddy ain't getting anything. His mother is sitting in jail because he said, and I quote, I got mad, so I made him masturbate me. And we know he's 14. That's not what he said. But after what happened last night, I'm trying to keep the language as copacetic as possible.
Oh, you mean Sunday night?
Oh, yeah, Sunday night. Sorry.
When we got banned for doing nothing?
And yeah. And I appealed it to try to get that original footage back, but we'll see.
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just wow. I have no words. I am stunned. Stunned. Sorry, I couldn't help that one. I couldn't help that one. Golden Girls reference. Most of you should know that.
It's wild. Like it's crazy. Like
It's like so Royce Reed is his mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So she's sitting in jail for his shenanigans, and he's not getting any flack for it. Not saying that, I'm just like, where's the line?
First of all, why is he not sitting in juvenile?
Right.
He's the one that committed the crime. Now I understand the judge did put things in place like, hey, this ain't the first time this happened. Hey, mama, hey, daddy, these are the parameters. So why is only mama punished? And why
Dad.
is the child in juvenile? Like, this child is going to counseling and just nonchalantly going, yeah, I was mad. This is what I had him do. That shows that he's never been punished for this. He's never had any consequences for this.
And see, I can, no offense, and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Whether people like me or not, I'm gonna keep it PC though, because we don't want to get banned again. It all comes down to there's no follow through at each of the homes, because she could be doing what she's doing, but if the father is not doing what he's doing on his end to keep the follow through in the same chain of command, she's doing stuff for just giggles at this point.
And let me say this, and what I'm saying is strictly a hypothesis. Strictly a hypothesis, okay? But the
Mm-hmm.
fact that anybody who's over 30
Mm-hmm.
knows the turmoil between Dwight and Royce. And I'm like, Dwight, calm yourself down. You chose to lay with this woman unprotected and have a baby with her, period. But it sounds like Dwight pulled some strings so his son wouldn't be arrested. And that's why he's radio silent right now. And this is not men and women, because there are women who do this also. This does not help your children. This does not help them. It gives them the mindset that the world is literally theirs and they can do whatever and get away with it. And they believe that any and everything that they do is correct as they kill, steal, and destroy lives. Because the people that they damage, they can't get that time back. They can't get that sanity back. They can't get that security back. They will never have that back. They could live to 300. They will never have that back.
Mm-mm. That particular thing, sexual abuse for any person, that hurdle is so high to even try and attempt to clear, because at the end of the day, you're still thinking about what's happened. No matter what therapy you've gone through, no matter what you've done, to not think about, to get over that hurdle, it's still in the back of your mind at the end of the day. And most days, if you don't keep yourself on an even keel, it'll hit that, your mind will hit that replay button and it'll be on repeat, and it's it's it's
And
not a
sometimes
good look.
even if you've mastered the art of keeping yourself distracted, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. There could be a smell that will trigger you.
Mm-hmm.
There are optical illusions that will trigger you.
Yep.
There will be sometimes a color or a style of shirt or the theme song to a TV show or the opening of a song, because these things are occurring while this is happening to you. And you may have blocked it out when you were talking to the police or when you were talking to your bestie or whoever about what happened to you. And you may have forgotten that such and such was playing in the background. But then you sitting here like, oh, I like this show, and you cut on such and such, and it sends you into a whirlwind. There's no getting past that. There's no amount of therapy that's going to heal you. Therapy is just going to teach you your new normal. That's it. It's not going to heal you. It's going to teach you your new normal.
And then
And I'm
on
not
top of that,
discouraging people
you
from
still,
getting therapy. I want you to go into it with an honest outlook. I don't want you to go in going, oh, after a couple of months, I'll be healed. No, you will learn how to adjust to a new normal for you.
yeah, and then you add on the stigma of black people not wanting to, admit that there's a problem, or not wanting to go to
And
therapy
men
because they
not
think,
wanting to,
yeah,
uh,
us too, throw us in there because we the same. We
because
feel that we don't
men
want to.
men are told that their abuse isn't abuse, but a badge of honor.
That
Unless
is
it
not
comes
a
from
badge of
another
honor.
man, then it's people are questioning people's sexuality, and that's why a lot of men don't want to come out. Let's call a spade a spade.
Men are also, especially black men, are told their problems don't matter.
Hmm. But then
And I'm
again,
glad you brought that
that's
up.
so.
Quick
Oh,
quick segue. Just a reminder: this Thursday will be our monthly men's mental health segment. So please join in. Bring your male friends with you. Bring your non-binary people with you. Because like we did the last time, we're gonna keep digging into it. And yes, it will be a monthly series. So if you would like to join, email is in the bio. Let me know. Yes, there.
I thought it was going to be on Tuesday.
No, Thursday. Once a month on Thursday.
Yeah, I heard Thursday.
You know what?
No, the first one was on Tuesday, remember? And then we tried
No,
to
the
do a
first
follow
one was
up.
on Thursday, and we
Oh
tried
yeah,
to do
and
a
then we tried
follow
to
up.
follow up on Tuesday, and people just there's no way.
Oh, okay, all right, no worries.
But now moving on, we have okay, Teresa, we'll be waiting for you over here. Trigger warning. We have one video that's tied to two different stories regarding one person. And if you're not familiar with this person, Google is free. This video has to do with two different stories happening at the same time regarding Sir Emmett Till. So here we go.
Ooh.
Guys, in fact.
Whoops. Wrong video. My bad.
Look her up
Hey, my
now.
cousin Queen, blessings to you. This is Emmett Till cousin. She want his case to be reopened. And I do agree with that, because if they can bring Bill Cosby back for things that he did 20, 30, 40 years ago, they should bring this woman back because she perjured herself. So she should spend time in jail for what she did to Emmett.
Amen.
Now, there is
Ben
another
said
story.
this.
Yes. Hey, Teresa. But there is another story that goes hand in hand with this, because we have two instances as to why Emmett Till is trending and making headlines currently. So, per news1.com, the new Emmett Till opera is written by a white woman and stars a fictional white woman. What could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
One day, a white woman woke up in the morning and decided that making an opera about Emmett Till was a good idea. That white woman got a bunch of black people involved, whom she would have needed in order to make this even plausibly okay. But that won't change the fact that black people's response to the very idea of an opera will range from skeptical to what the fuck is the caucasified shit here. Yes, this is really in the article. I'm just reading what it says. And if y'all ever been on News One, you know what you know. If history has taught us nothing else, one would think it's obvious that it's taught us nothing having to do with Emmett Till that begins with a white woman ends well. Anyway, Emmett Till, the opera, will have its world premiere March 23rd with an encore performance on March 24th at Gerald W. Lynch Theater at John Jay College in New York City, according to Playbill, the monthly magazine about theatrical productions. The opera was written by playwright and audacious white woman Claire Koss, who based it on her award-winning 2013 play Emmett, Down in My Heart. Here's a description as reported by Playbill. In the opera, the story is approached through the lens of Rowan Taylor, a young white woman who teaches high school science in Drew, Mississippi. Rowan is against Jim Crow laws, segregation, and the racial inequity that she sees around her, but remains silent. She is the opera's only fictional character and represents what Martin Luther King Jr. called the ultimate tragedy, the silence of the good people. Yeah, that's not what he was talking about, but let's keep going. Featuring both a black chorus and a white chorus, Emmett Till weaves the horrific murder of Till with Mamie Till Mobley's transformation from private citizen to activist, Uncle Mose Wright's bold decision to break the Delta Code and testify at trial, and Rowan Taylor's journey towards a sense of responsibility. So to recap, a white woman writes an Emmett Till play that centers a fictional white woman in her equally fictional white savior coming of age journey. Got it. Now look, I haven't seen the play and I don't plan on seeing the opera. All I'm saying is that when white people tell black stories through the lens of whiteness, you don't get a black history story that benefits black people. You get a black story sanitized for white consumption.
That's okay. Stick a pin right there.
Hold on. The name of the theater is what got me. Read the name of the theater again.
Gerald W. Lynch. Yeah, I didn't miss that. I did not miss that.
I didn't either.
Like, you're going to make a play about a black man that was brutalized and lynched and then weighted down and drowned. Well, he wasn't even a man. He was a teenager. And you're going to put him in the... And who gave her a damn award in 2013 for this bullshit?
White people.
White people.
Check,
They
girl.
send
Before
me
I say
white
before I say anything, check and make sure we're still on.
Yeah, we
Before
still
I
are.
say-
We still are.
Okay, good. So here's my problem with this. And I'm going to state this as calmly and as PC as I can because I do not want to get us banned. And I'm even smiling. See? Smile. Smile over there, sir.
Okay, well, I
Smile.
don't think the person
Oh,
who got us
hey.
banned is in this live tonight.
I don't care. Still smile. Because we don't want to get banned.
You sent me white people shit.
Okay.
I
So
love Caucasians. Did that
My
look
dog is
real?
Caucasian.
Did that look real?
My dog is Caucasian. My stove is Caucasian. My refrigerator is Caucasian. My new dishwasher is Caucasian.
My
My ice
landlord
maker,
is Caucasian.
my ice maker black though.
yeah.
My Keurig is indigenous, bitch.
So here's my take on this because I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Because I got white person this morning and I just really feel that we need to take into account that white people have suffered too. You know, they really suffered
So much
when
more.
Mamie Till had to sit there and identify her son after he was brutalized. I mean, she just had to identify him, and we had to just look at those pictures that they had in Jet, even though we don't read Jet, and it was just so distracting, and I just could not. We cannot function unless we're in everything because we own everything. You didn't know? I mean, it's just so disparaging that people don't know. I'm sorry. I couldn't hold it. Okay. But here's my real take on this. It's just it's not surprising. It's really not surprising that you know she would do this because again, just like with the Central Park 5, with Emmett Till, with any black person who has come into law enforcement, especially during that particular timetable, you're lucky if you made it out alive. Let's just be real. Let's call a spade, and now it's even worse. You're lucky if you make it out alive, and I shouldn't be saying that in 2022. Ooh, sorry, 2022. Sorry, bad David.
I don't say we agreed. We made a pact. We ain't repeating this year. We surely ain't repeating 2020.
But it's just really disheartening that people that white people think that they're entitled to all spaces at all times whenever we say something. Because like this morning when I was talking to you about the comment section about a video that I made about a white woman implanting black embryos into her womb to give birth to them, to say, oh, hey, look at me, I can give birth to black babies too. Nah, honey, you literally bought those. You bought those. And then
figure out how you bought them, boo.
and then you're gonna sit. Then I had this woman in this comment section tell me that oh, I'm just reading her words. I was like, exactly, those are her words that she said in an article. We have no justification, no way of knowing exactly how she obtained those embryos. We have no way. So the fact that you're sitting here trying to white-splain to me about what's going on is just laughable. Because as far as I'm concerned, if she and then another person who attacked me in my comment section trying to say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. And I was just like, you're tone policing me. Don't tone police me. Because I don't tone police you when it comes to your issues. I don't tone police you when a white person goes and shoots up a school. I don't do that.
He said, hey, shoot up at school.
Well, I saw a video on Instagram today where somebody was trying to come for British people, and they were like, a British accent doesn't make you smart. And this British guy was like, and a school doesn't make it a shooting range.
Yeah, I seen that video. Comedy.
I'm just like,
Not wrong, though.
let's be real. Let's call on the paint what and most of these particular happenings, I'll call them that just in case YouTube decides to be messy. And most of these happenings, they have not been perpetrated by Black people or people of color. They haven't. It's been a grand majority. I think there was one, but the point of that particular shooting, that person shot the person who he was aiming for. That Black boy took that thing and he aimed for the person he was aiming for. He did not go and shoot up the whole entire school, if I remember correctly. Am I? We get it. We get it.
You're 100% right.
He shot the one person he was aiming for. The rest of them, they be trying to, like, I felt bad in 1999 when the Columbine shootings happened. One, because they forced my favorite episode of Buffy to be delayed a whole 2 months. Man, I was so
Don't say that out loud.
I was upset. No, I'm just kidding.
That sounds real cold-hearted.
Joking. Complete joke. I'm sorry.
He about to kick off the air permanently.
Right.
Like, you gonna put the life of a fictional character over our little white alabaster babies? No, sir. Black men bend.
That's like saying I was mad at 9/11 because they had us watching the news at school.
Here's the thing, and here's why I say that is because the parents when they went to the house of the parents, they were like, "Oh, I didn't know." I was just like, "How could you not know?"
But they also, let's not forget, this is when the narrative of little murderous white boys, girls, and non-binary individuals were the victims. They weren't the victims. They weren't bullied. They were the bullies who wanted the ultimate bully. They came to school to ultimately bully the entire school. They weren't happy with the handful of kids that they were bullying, because that's when the narrative came out that, oh, it's mental illness. They were being bullied. No, the fuck they weren't. These kids that decide to shoot up schools were not being bullied. The kids that are actually being bullied don't shoot up the school, because when have we seen an overweight child shoot up the school? When have we seen an autistic child shoot up the school? When have we just seen a physically disabled child shoot up a school? When have we seen an LGBTQIA plus child shoot up a school? When have we seen a transgender child shoot up a school? We haven't. When have we seen a girl who was invited to a party as a prank and she got gang SA'd shoot up a school? We haven't. It's the bullies that have been able to get away with all of this stuff since day one, because their parents, the administrators, the teachers, the local police make excuses and let them get off. And they're like, well, let's up the game. And they take GTA to the real world, and this is what happens. And then on top of that, we as society, especially those that are Black and brown, are supposed to feel sorry for them and go, oh, we'll give little Roger and Rebecca another chance. No, because I still remember the little girl who was terrified to tell a dude she didn't want to go to prom with him because he kept hassling her. And then he pulled her to the side underneath a stairwell and took out a damn sword and decapitated her. And it came out, nobody had ever told him no. And if they did, and he showed a little pushback, they gave, oh, he just, mental health. Well, then get his ass some help.
Or here's the better question. Here's the honest, better question. And I'm going to say this with my whole entire chest. Is why is it that when a woman is SA'd, or anything pertaining to that, it's always on her for what happened?
What do you mean?
Because men aren't
wait, no. I'll explain. When I say that, oh, well, you shouldn't have been wearing that, or you shouldn't have gone to this such and such a place, or you should not have been this place, or you shouldn't have been drinking, or you shouldn't have gotten into that car. So it's not the fault of the person who did the deed to me, it's my fault.
But it's only our fault after it happens. Because before it happens, look at the long list of men in our lives that tell us men ain't shit and to have our guard up. Because it's men. It's the men in our lives that teach us that it's all men first. Because it starts with the grandfather, the fathers, the uncles, the brothers. Oh, be careful around such and such. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't go over there. They ain't cool. If a dude says this, don't fall for it. If a dude does this, know that this is gonna happen. If you see a bunch of dudes, it's guys that teach us that. But soon as something happens, then it's our fault because we are raised to be on the lookout for men, but men aren't raised from boys to just control themselves.
There's no
To not just look at
there's no
everybody as a
placebo
separate being.
effect to say, okay, look, this is how you treat women at all times. I'm not saying that none of these parents don't teach them that, but what I'm saying is on a grander scale, there's no middle ground here. It's either you got the ones that don't do it and the ones who do it, and right now that's at a 95 percentile for the guys that do it. You got a 5% for men who don't. And that's just sad. It's just like, come on. Where's the accountability for it? Because even, okay, I'll take it even a little bit further. And then my food's coming. I got to go downstairs and go get it. But I'll take it even a bit further. They'll say to a boy, oh, I'm a lady killer. It'll be printed on the shirt. But they'll have for a girl, you better lock her up when she turns 16.
Or they'll say, or on girls' t-shirts, especially little girls' t-shirts, like I'm talking preschool, math is hard. But we got to take a pause for the cause. We have our ad to run. We'll see you all in 2 and 2. All right. Just one more caveat, just to give you all a heads up. The merchandise will be available this week, but in honor of April, which is also my birthday month, I'm going to do a bigger discount. There will be, because April is, out of all the things that it is, SA, Sexual Assault Survivors Month. So there will be merchandise regarding that. And anybody who's her mom, or there will be merch out for you all as well.
They didn't hear you because somebody's setup over there was a little loud.
Okay, like I said, just a caveat. Coming up in April, but the merchandise will be already available for this current sale. Will be up this week because April, my birthday month, is also every month has multiple things that it celebrates. Sexual Abuse Survivors Month. So there will be merch to support sexual abuse survivors. And if you're a fur mom, fur dad, fur brother, fur sister, there will be merchandise out there for you as well, just to put it out there. And also to let you all know, not this Friday, but next Friday, if you have not watched season 1 of Bridgerton, get caught up, because there will not be a Freeform Friday on YouTube. You know how we do. If there's a big premiere, we take it over to Zoom and we do a viewing party all up in here together. So next Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, instead of coming over here, meet us on Zoom, get you a snack, get your comfy clothes, get relaxed, and Monty be on time.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
I know, but I thought I would say it. And just to follow up, we showed the first videos last week of the arrest of the Black Panther director. Here's a final video. I did not have it at the time, but here's a video for full disclosure. Let's go.
Guys invest. You know what I'm saying? What's my perspective? What's my perspective? I know at the bank, she never said it was a fucking problem, bro. Yeah. I said, hey, is that gonna be okay with you? She said, yeah. I put my own card in, put my own pin in. She asked to see my ID. I gave it to her. Yeah. And she goes in the back, and I'm waiting for the and then the people keep coming out. Hey, they taking care of you. They taking care of you. Everything, it's taking a little while. Next thing I hear fucking Glocks. Yeah. I hear Glocks.
And for those of you all that do not know, he gave his ID, 2 forms of ID. At his particular bank, you did have to insert your ATM card, your debit card, and put in your passcode. She never looked at his ID. She looked at the note that he had on there for discretion, because if you're going to cash a check over a certain amount, protocol is you call the bank first to make sure that they have that cash on hand, that they are able to give it to you. And if you want discretion, because you really don't want people to know that you're taking out a large sum of money and the denominations that you're taking it out, you write it on the withdrawal slip. Or you have another piece of paper where you write it out like, this is how I want this to go. I want this to go into this account, this to go into this account. I want this in cash. So you don't have to say it out loud. No different than what women are taught to do when we check in and out of hotels, especially checking in. We're told not to have them say our room numbers out loud, to write it down and things like that. So if you come across women or anybody who dates men and you notice that we always carry Post-it notes of a certain size with us and an ink pen, that's why. And it's not like we're checking in and out of hotels a lot, but a lot of times we have to use discretion. That discretion was not used. But moving on from there, Ukraine President Zelensky thanks women who interrupted TV news with an anti-war sign. when I said
we ain't got no chill.
Unfortunately, there were attorneys looking for this woman to protect her. As of right before we went live, they still haven't found her. So I hope she is well and safe. Because, going up against Putin is crazy. But we've been trying to tell y'all for years news. According to CBS, new Secret Service report details growing incel terrorism threat. And if you don't know what an incel is, it means involuntarily celibate, meaning they just can't get none. The federal government on Tuesday released a study on the growing terrorism threat from men who call themselves anti-feminist or involuntary celibates and draw motivation for violence from their inability to develop relationships with women. Since 2014, attacks inspired by the Incel movement and spanning the United States and Canada have left dozens dead. Early intervention and behavioral threat assessments could be the difference between life and death for women targeted by the growing ideology, according to the 26-page report. The report concluded that while there is no one profile of an individual who plans or executes an act of targeted violence, investigators must consider potential targets when seeking to thwart attacks, as suspects routinely explore multiple targets during the planning process before making their final selection. You gotta be motherfucking kidding me, because I can tell you right now, the profile of an incel. Okay. These are the ones that proclaim themselves to be alpha males in public and everywhere. These are the ones
Mm-hmm.
constantly criticize women, claiming that we just traditionally pick the wrong ones. These are the ones that publicly call themselves a good guy, but never exhibit good guy behavior. These are the guys that literally use the term friend zone, because if you are my friend, you are my friend. You don't hear men saying that they're friend zoned by another man. You don't hear a woman saying that she's friend zoned by another woman. You don't hear a non-binary person saying that they're friend zoned by another non-binary person. You feel friend zone when you want to stick your winky wonka up in me, but you're like, oh, right now you got a boyfriend. This is why a lot of men, these same men, use this line. You got a man? Oh yeah, I'm in a relationship. Well, can we be friends? And this is why I hit them back with, if I was your woman, would you want me to have a friend like you? And that always stops them dead in their tracks because they know their intentions. They're waiting for me to be home alone. They're waiting for me to be upset. They're waiting for me to be heartbroken because they think at that moment, me giving up my cootie cat is supposed to be, oh, thank you for being my friend and doing friend stuff with me for all this time. No. These are the same men that will follow women around at the park while they're trying to jog, or around the mall while we're just trying to chill. And there's a whole thread on Reddit where they are getting off on intimidating women on purpose. They'll get so close, then back off. And they are like, we do it on purpose to try to scare them. This is why you can't get a woman. If your tactic is to force a woman into a relationship with you out of fear, like the only way I can stay alive is to give in to you, baby, you ain't gonna never get it. Because if it comes down to me and you, hope your mama got good insurance on your ass. And the
I
FBI,
can't.
them, but the FBI got a profile on every black person, it seems. They got a good enough profile that all brown people get stopped at the airport.
I
They
purposely
got a
go
good enough
out of the
profile with
way
black
to
and
make
brown people
sure.
across the water.
I purposely make sure I go. I get out of the way. Like, I'm not trying to intimidate no woman. Like, I know I could do that if I really wanted to. Like, why would I want to though? Right. I'm here to. I was put on this earth to love women. Like, I'm 100% positive on that. Like, I'm love all women. Not, and I'm not meaning sexually or anything like that. I mean, like, I want to be like, all my friends I hang out with are women anymore. Like, I've been through a lot. Like, I've seen a lot of stuff go on. I know how men act. I'm like, I really want to be a woman's friend. Like, I need them to know they got a real ally.
The conversations that I've been a part of in men talk times is just utterly disgusting.
Horrible. It's horrible.
I don't think I have ever been utterly disgusted in a conversation than when it's with men, or I'll say heterosexual men. I'll say that. But I will say, on the grand scheme of things, gay men can be just as bad too. But I'm just like, oi, because okay, I'll take you through a scene. I'm working at my job, and I go in the back in the warehouse, and they're talking, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I go over because I'm grabbing something, and I happen to hear the conversation. And when I tell you, my face when I walked in was not the way it was when I walked out, because I'm just like, I'm thinking in my head, this is somebody's daughter you're talking about. Would you want your daughter to be talked about like this? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't.
And
And I'm
trust
just
me,
Yeah.
like,
working in
okay.
IT, I can't tell y'all how many meetings, especially, well, we have been doing Zoom, Skype, and everything else before everybody really got hip to it, especially due to COVID. I rarely turn my camera on. And most of the time, I don't have to speak. I can just type into the comment section because most people don't want to hear what I have to say in IT unless I really have to get intricate with something because they really screwed up something. And because I generally use initials and my last name, most people assume that I'm a man. When I tell y'all the conversations that I've heard, and y'all know I'm petty, I'll just be sitting here like, and then I'll just click on my camera and look at them. And then so I was, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. And then they're like, and then here's the telltale that yes, you did mean it like that. You're a girl and you're not ugly, but you're smart. The fuck? Bitch, that's not a compliment.
It really isn't. It's not even a flex.
Swear to God. Urbane, put your bowl back.
It's like white people, they always like to use that. Oh, you're one of the good ones.
So what does that mean?
It's a backhanded compliment. It is what it is.
Oh, my thing is when a white person tells me, "Oh, you're one of the good ones," I was like, "Is it because I saw every episode of Snapped? Is it because I have a copy of Blood Letters and Bad Men?" And then they usually go, like I done cracked the code or something. Yeah, because I know your culture is stealing, killing, and destroying. Is that why I'm one of the good
ones? Girl, I can't tell you. Oh, best one yet. Because even our own do it. Now, I was on the phone. I'm on the phone. And this person, let's call him Bobby. We'll call him Bobby for short.
Bobby, Ricky, and Mike.
So Bobby calls me and asks me, do we have something in stock? And I said, well, no, we don't have this in stock. And he was like, well, the online store says that you do. And I was like, well, unfortunately, sir, what happens is that the online store and the box store are completely autonomous from each other.
I remember you telling me about this. They didn't know what autonomous meant.
So he's like, well, what do you mean? I was just like, well, the box store and the online store generally don't speak to each other unless, oh, wait. He's just like, why you use that word? And I was just like, what do you mean? He's like, you probably don't even know what it means. And I was like, well, generally speaking, it means that the box store and the online store don't generally talk to each other unless you have something that the online store where the person is ordering to come and pick up at the store. He hangs up. I'm like, sir, don't be mad at me because you didn't pay attention or you don't read. That's not my problem. Like this, like today, like
I know he probably didn't know the color of your skin, but I'm pretty sure he was like, and most of them, they don't want us to know big words. They don't want us to know, and that's not even really a big word to really know, but it, you could have said it in an easier form for him, for simple-minded people. But yeah, they don't want us to know those.
But here's the thing: if you assume, but here's the double-edged sword. Because if you assume that they're simple-minded and you talk to them as the toddlers that they actually are, then they get doubly disrespected and feel all in their feels for that. But then when you talk to them how we talk to one another, there's a problem.
Right.
See, now you know why God confused the languages.
Mm-hmm. But according to POTUS.com,
which
Trump
one? His POTUS or the one that's current?
I'm gonna read you this and you'll know. Trump attempts to fix his Putin problem.
Yeah, that. Children.
Former President Donald Trump is trying to fix his Putin problem, but he still hasn't been able to criticize Russia's leader the same way he treats his other opponents. Quote, do you think Putin is going to stop? It's going to get worse and worse. He's not going to accept it. And we don't have anybody to talk to him. You had somebody to talk to him with me. No one has ever been tougher on Russia than me, unquote. Trump said in South Carolina on Saturday, per NBC's Vaughn Hilliard. Trump added, quote, the U.S. must make clear to Putin that he has two choices: to negotiate peace right now or face blistering consequences, including a push to permanently eliminate dependence on Russian industry. Unquote. In fact, Biden has already banned Russian oil imports. And the former president also said this of Putin: it happens to be a man that is just driven. He's driven to put it together. Trump don't know what to do. Trump don't know whether to guzzle the glizzy of Putin or try to get elected here again. I mean, we all know he can't get elected here again because he cannot win the popular vote. But
here's the thing. I'm going to say this, and just listen to me first. The man is a marketing genius. He's not planning on running for president again in 2024, but he knows as long as he keeps saying he's going to save America, that they're going to keep buying his merchandise, and it's just going to get him richer and richer.
That's not a marketing genius. That's called
a marketing.
No, that's called a grifter.
Because he's not marketing. It's the same thing.
No,
that's the same thing he did when he first ran for president. He wasn't really trying to run.
That's not marketing. It's grifting, because he's lying to stupid people to get their money. He's not marketing himself, because marketing would be him saying, you know what? I can fix this. I can fix that. This is what he doesn't.
That's what he's saying though.
This is why he hasn't made an official bid, because as long as he doesn't make an official bid, all of the donations he has coming through his official site, even though it says Trump 2024, he can pocket. It's not until he goes officially, yeah, I'm hitting the campaign trail, then he can no longer pocket it. But guess who's currently banned from Russia?
Who?
Dennis Rodman.
Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, and a variety of senior White House officials. Like, they were really about to go to Russia. Like, Putin and Trump, on so many levels, they are the same. They have that Napoleon complex. They have ego problems. They are narcissists. Like, bruh, do you really think Hillary Clinton, top high White House officials, or the president of the free world right now is coming to chill in Russia? Don't nobody need a PP bed right now. That was Trump's thing. Okay, ban Trump. Then maybe he'll get in his feelings and back you and send you like his Secret Service detail from Mar-a-Lago. I don't know. Maybe he'll send you the kids that he don't like. I don't know. But no, don't nobody need a PP bed right now. That was Trump that needed the PP bed. Oh, and for some of y'all, this might be good news. For some of y'all, it may not. But the first step in the process of eliminating daylight savings time went through today. We got one more step to go, and maybe we can stop this bullshtickety shenanigans of falling back and springing forward and going side to side and changing the dang time, because I'm tired of it.
Okay, explain.
You know I am. From AFP, U.S. moves to end spring forward fallback clock changes. The U.S. Senate advanced a bill Tuesday that would bring an end to the twice yearly changing of clocks in favor of a new permanent standard time that would mean brighter winter evenings. The Sunshine Protection Act, which still needs the backing of the House of Representatives, would mean no more losing an hour in bed every spring and fewer journeys home in the dark for school children and office workers. It was introduced last year by Republican Marco Rubio, a senator from the Sunshine State of Florida. At least something can come out of the pits of hell. Florida. Who says studies have shown permanent daylight savings time, DST, would benefit the economy. And the thing about it is, this practice is extremely antiquated. We are no longer a unitedly plantation or farm-based country. Daylight savings time was to help with crops. We do not do that anymore. And even modern day farmers tell you it is not needed. They have a working almanac. They know how to adjust things. Stop doing this. And daylight savings time has been shown in several studies to cause depression in people. So let's just get it.
What so I wonder, are they going to keep it at the time that it is now, or are they
It would
going
be
to
the
go?
time that it is now. Because this time is the time that we started off on. And
Mhm.
then when daylight savings came, we were like, let's take an hour away. And that's why everything seems to get darker in the winter. And people are like, it's so dark in the winter. It's not. It's a mind fuck on you. Urbane, I'm a two-piece you. I'm a two-piece.
Ooh, bet
Go
you
on.
won't.
I bet I will. You bet I will.
They gonna be after you. Peter gonna be on
Uh,
you.
First of all, I got a crazy person on Instagram after me right now. There's always somebody after me. I don't give a damn. Let's roll to this last clip before we do the outro. Here we go.
Someone please tell me why all British steakhouses look like tiny churches.
This is actually a very good question, and yes, I can tell you why. The short answer is because they used to be churches. But here's where it gets interesting. At the beginning of the 1800s in the UK, particularly in London, steak suddenly became very, very popular, but it was also very, very expensive. So people wanted to get their slabs of meat on the cheap. Cue the church, like all good British thrillers. When people were executed, their bodies were sent to the local church to prepare them for burial. But some of the bodies never made it to burial. We've all been to a good farmer's market. Originally, these were church markets. They were held every Sunday, and they were where the church would sell off the fruit and veg that they grew in the church gardens. And in 1803, they introduced steak. That's why.
Not even shocked.
Well, with that, what are your final thoughts on the moment, on the night?
I'm eating, and you gonna show me this. Ugh. I'm gagging because that's just. Ugh. But you're right. Then they call us savages. I can't.
Because I'm a savage.
No, that ain't even classy or bougie. That ain't even classy or bougie. Don't even go there with me.
According to white people, it is. I mean, they went from eating prisoners, then sending prisoners to Australia. And now Australians think that they the creme de la creme. Like, how you the descendants of murderers and petty thieves that were all sent to the same island? But I digress. I guess that's why y'all got giant people eating spiders and shit down there, and storms that could wipe out a whole generation in 30 seconds. But whatever.
Yeah, he they, like, it's not. I don't think it shouldn't be news to anybody that white people used to eat.
Everybody,
Yeah,
they were
like
eating
I don't think
criminals
it
and
should
black
be
folk.
right. I'm like, they literally used our hair and ate us all the time. Like,
Yeah, that's why when people, I'm sorry, white people, if you be like, you want to come to a picnic with me?
Absolutely not.
I still get scared going to white girls' houses, parents' houses. Get out, get out killed me. I ain't gonna lie, can't do it. I don't want to meet your parents. We can go. We can meet them at Frisch's or Dixie Chili or something. But I ain't meeting them at their house.
We got a cloud of witnesses.
Right.
Especially Dixie Chili. Dixie Chili ain't never empty.
Right.
It could be 2 minutes to close, and there's always somebody.
Always somebody in there. Okay.
Shoot, I'm not meeting you around the corner. I'm not meeting you around the corner on Joe Street. No.
Mm-mm.
We ain't gonna do that.
Right.
But as always, thank you all for joining. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for Get Into It with Taz and Chris. And don't forget, this Thursday, it is our monthly men's mental health showing. And like I said, if you want to join, or if you have a friend that you think would be great to join, bring them through. But till then, dog.